have a practice here at Riverside over the past few years of beginning our sermons with some sort of embodied experience, a way to remember and recognize that preaching is not just about what goes in your head, but about the whole body. And so for today's embodied experience, I'm going to ask you to do something a little bit different. We're just going to, stopwatch here, wait for 30 seconds. Just wait. Ready? Set. Did anyone wonder, why is this 30 seconds taking so long? It was 90 seconds. I thought about going for 3 minutes, but didn't want you to fall asleep that quick. What happens to your body when you are waiting? Especially when you start thinking, oh my goodness, does he know how long it's been? It's clearly been more than 30 seconds. Why isn't he stopped? Anyone having a moment of anxiety in this space? Or just enjoying the mini nap you just got? Our bodies experience so many things when we are waiting. It's inevitable. Sometimes when you're waiting for something stressful, they have a term for it, anticipatory stress. You know something is coming that you don't want to have coming, and you find yourself waiting for that moment. Your blood pressure can rise, your heart rate quickens, your breath shortens, your pupils can even begin dilating. You have a physiological response to waiting. Maybe you just had a little bit of that just now in that 30 seconds. Or when you wait for something good, when you are waiting for something that you are looking forward to, our bodies have a response. They've even done some research that shows you enjoy the vacation more the farther in advance you plan it. Some people even say they actually enjoy anticipating the good thing more than the thing itself. Waiting opens up so many opportunities. Yet so often we get so focused on the thing we're waiting for that we forget to be present in this moment. My day yesterday had a little bit of waiting. I woke up around 4:50 in the morning, which is what happens when you have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. It was a Saturday, so they got to watch some cartoons. Moana was the cartoon of choice. Although they had to wait for me to get the TV on. That TV wasn't connecting to the internet. Let's go to this TV. And then a few hours later, got to run to the grocery store. So the 2.5-year-old needs a restock on diapers. The 4-year-old wants to come. Okay, I'll wait for you, Lauren. Wait for him to get his shoes on, his coat on, getting in the car. Make our way through the grocery store. We do the fantastic self-checkout because the 4-year-old loves to scan all the items, put them in the bag, except for when he scans too many too quick and the entire thing has a moment it says, attendant required. only the attendant was busy with somebody else. So me and the 4-year-old and a cart full of groceries found ourselves waiting and waiting and waiting. And I think it was one of those moments where the 30 seconds felt like 30 minutes, at least to me, the parent with the 4-year-old who's touching everything. So much happens in your body in those stressful moments of waiting. Later that day, yesterday, I make my way to the airport, only to see a notification. My flight has been delayed. Okay, I can wait. I have some things to do to keep me busy while I'm waiting. So I get to the small airport near my town, and I'm waiting. I finally board the plane. Okay, I might make my scheduled flight. They put me on a later one, but I would like to avoid waiting. So I'm gonna be one of those crazy holiday weekend airport travelers who's sprinting through Detroit Airport with his bag, racing to the gate, only to get there 1 minute after it closed. And so I wait and wait and wait, and I write this sermon, and I wait and I wait and I wait. I get on the airplane, make my way here to New York, land, go through LaGuardia, outside in this lovely December weather we're having, and the bus, oh, my phone says it'll be here any minute, which apparently they were playing the same game too. Okay, this minute turns into that minute. Nope, I don't need that bus. Aha, there's my bus finally. Find a seat and wait and wait and wait till I finally get to the hotel. Oh, I should probably eat something, right? So I wait for my food. Now it's time to go to bed. And after a day full of frenetic waiting, now I'm waiting to fall asleep. Sometimes our days are filled with waiting. And we are so often caught up in whatever it is we're waiting for that we forget to be present in the moments of waiting. Or it's like that great prophet Theodore Geisel once wrote, waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or the waiting around for a yes or no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Theodore Geisel, by the way, is Dr. Seuss. Today's text has some unique moments of waiting. This text, we would often hear this text from Daniel preached about the power of God versus the power of human rulers. It doesn't matter who's at the throne or who's in the Oval Office, God's still in charge. Lion den, you don't scare me. Okay, there's a sermon. You might also hear a sermon about the presence of God, even when you find yourself in exile, like Daniel, out of your land. Even in those moments, God calls us to be faithful, and God will always be with us. Those are the sermons you've probably heard before on Daniel in the Lion's Den. They're great. Look them up on YouTube. But today, we're going to preach about waiting. The governors, the satraps, these rulers, hundreds of them, who conspired against Daniel to convey the law in such a way to make this perfect legal loophole that gets Daniel thrown in the lion's den. Imagine their waiting. They had been waiting for so long with their scheming. That night when Daniel was in the lion's den, they thought, surely this is it, we've won. Now our schemes will finally put us in power. They found themselves waiting with scheming. Or the king. We meet the king in this book who's very sympathetic to Daniel. He likes Daniel, yet somehow he got cornered into signing that law that tossed Daniel in the lion's den. We even see the king's sleepless night. He's not eating. Nothing will calm his anxiety. He is just anticipating the morning when his friend Daniel won't be alive. We have the king worrying in his waiting. Then there's Daniel, of course. Daniel, who has every right to be afraid and scared and worried and concerned. And throughout this entire story, what do we see Daniel doing in his waiting? Praying. We see Daniel in that waiting space praying. And don't forget, there's another character who's waiting in this story. The lions. They are growling. At least their stomachs are, because there's that second portion of the story we often omit from our Sunday school lessons where the lions, what? They eat all the satraps and their families and kids. The lions in their waiting were just waiting for a snack. What we do while we are waiting might say a lot about who we are. What do you do while you are waiting? Pull out a phone and swipe through TikTok and Blue Sky, talk to a neighbor, scheme, worry, pray. Things to pay attention to in the waiting place. Advent is a season of waiting. Or maybe more accurately, Advent, I think, is a season where we are invited to be present in these moments of waiting. Advent isn't just about racing to Christmas as fast as we can, getting through the countdown to open presents and have candlelight. Advent is an intentional step, candle, inviting us into each moment of waiting. Could it be that hope, peace, joy, and love, these four themes of Advent, could it be that hope, peace, joy, and love are not what we're waiting for, but perhaps they are what we encounter along the way while we are waiting? Only we're so often focused on the thing we're waiting for, we might miss out on what's right here happening all around us. Our lives are filled with waiting, from simple things like waiting in line, waiting for a bus, for a subway, waiting for a car, waiting in traffic, waiting for all of these seemingly simple moments that make up so much of our life. What do you notice about yourself in those moments of waiting? And could this Advent season be an invitation to not just tap your foot in anxiety at that bus that never shows up, at the line that never moves, but could this Advent season be an invitation to be present even in that seemingly ordinary but maybe somehow divine waiting? And then there's the bigger things in our life we wait for. That phone call, you know the one you're waiting for that just might change all of this. The call, the job offer, the big break, the news you've been hoping for. Or in this Advent season, as we look towards the birth of a baby, how many people find themselves waiting on another pregnancy test, waiting for the results of IVF? And could this be the time when that miracle finally arrives? We are filled with waiting for the diagnosis from a doctor, waiting in this season as the days get darker and colder, and dear ones in our lives transition from life to death, finding ourselves waiting. Simple moments, big moments. Life is full of waiting. What would it look like to be present in this waiting season? The world around us has us waiting. How many of you are waiting for January 20th? What's going to start happening on that day in this country? We are waiting. Or maybe we're just going to wait for November 2026 when we get to check a few more boxes. Or maybe we're waiting for 2028 when we can check a few more boxes. Or maybe we're still waiting, it seems, all these years. Will we ever be a country that can elect a woman to the highest office? How long, O Lord, must we wait? The thing about waiting is we aren't called to just sit on our hands and wait, but we are called to do things here and now, every moment in between. It's easy to wait, but it takes courage to be present in that in-between. Maybe we're waiting along with our global siblings, sisters, and brothers for another one. Another what? Well, there have been 470 mass shootings in America this year, the most recent on Thursday in San Antonio, Texas. but we didn't know there were 470. Sometimes we're so numb to the news that we just tune out the waiting. How many people are waiting for the ends of civil war? The one in Sudan has been raging for generations and continues again now for nearly 2 years. Or the 14 months of families in Gaza waiting to see, is that sound another bomb, or are we safe? Or the families in Palestine for 76 years waiting, are we going to be displaced and destroyed yet again? We find ourselves waiting. Waiting for what? Waiting for what? Well, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice, right? It sure seems like it's really, really long sometimes. We are waiting for hope, peace, joy, love. We are waiting for justice. But we're not just waiting for esoteric ideas. We're not waiting for theories and concepts. We're waiting for you and for me and for all of us. It's as the great prophet and poet June Jordan once said, we are the ones we've been waiting for. You could say that life is waiting, but perhaps more accurately, life is what you do while you are waiting. Life is not just what you're waiting for, life is what you do in the moments you are waiting. And that's why Advent is an invitation. I think there are 3 questions I'm sitting with as I think about waiting and this Advent season. First, what is it that we even notice around us? What do we see happening? What is it you're waiting for? Or maybe we need to change the question, what are you waiting for? Who's waiting for you? It's easy to think, I'm waiting for this, I'm waiting for that. You could be the very thing someone is waiting for. God has hands. They're attached to your wrists. God acts and works and lives and loves in this world when you act and live and love in this world. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. And this season of Advent is a season of waiting. A season of waiting for God and God waiting for us. A season where we say to God, a season where God says to us, and a season where we cry out to one another, I will wait for you.
Well, I came home like a stone, and I fell heavy into your arms. These days of dust, which we've known, blow away with this new sun. I'll kneel down, wait for now. I'll kneel down, know my ground. I will wait for you. And I will wait for you. So break my step and relent. You forgave, and I some way shake the excess. 'Cause I will wait for you. Yes, I will wait for you. And I will wait for you. And I will wait for you. Though I'll be bold as well as strong, and here's my head alongside my heart. So take my flesh and fix my eyes. Tell